All right, here are your instructions for the final assessment or your project for the unit on causes of the Civil War. Now, because of break, it feels like we've been doing this for, forever, but I know that we haven't. And if you have questions, that's why I have office hours. That's why I will get in touch with you using Google Hangouts, little Chrome extension up here. So essentially, this is a menu project or a choice board project. So I will be posting this document to Classroom. Okay. Now, you need to choose any of these that add up to 50 points. Okay. So if you look, I'm going to go through these with you a little bit, even though I have explained them all and everything is linked. So you are going to refer back to this document because I have all kinds of links in this one document. Okay. So you need to add up to 50. Yes, you can go over. Yes, you can go over. It's okay. I wouldn't advise, doing 100 points, but if you're at, 55 or 60, that's totally fine. And I'll probably throw you a couple bonus points for that. So the first couple appetizers are pretty self-explanatory. Create a timeline. You can create a Google slide, or I'm expecting more than just one slide here. Let's be real. We move on to side dishes, main courses, and you notice that these point values are much bigger. And then finally, just a couple extras if you need to. Now, the reason why I'm saying that I'm just going to post this document is that if you click here, it pops up a Google Doc. And here are your general instructions. I am going to have mandatory check-ins so that I can check your progress. These are going to be on Google Meet on April 20th and April 23rd. If you are unable to use Meet, your microphone's broken, your camera's broken, you need to let me know and we'll figure out something. Whether it's you take pictures and email me, I just do a voice call in Google Hangouts, something. Okay. I also made a big list of frequently asked questions that I'm assuming you will ask me. So if you have questions, that's fine. Check this document first. Okay. And how I got here was from the link at the very, very top. Okay. Now, if you click on each one of these, since these are pretty self-explanatory, I'm going to click on this one. You will see each one of these links to a Google slideshow that gives you instructions and prompts on how to do each one. Okay, so the one we're looking at right now, you can use drawings, which is what I use to make the menu sheet, to make a digital poster. You can use slides for this. You can use Adobe Spark. I've seen all kinds of different things. You need to include basic info. And then for each one, I gave you a prompt. I told you what I'm envisioning the final project to look like, and then different things to consider or maybe some helpful hints. I also posted at the end of this one helpful links. Okay, here's a template for the poster already set up for you. One of the options is doing a political cartoon. Here's a list of a couple to get the juices flowing. One of them is to analyze a song from the time period, so here's links to that. You can be creative. If you need to double check with me, send me an email, send me a message. The big projects I do want to go over, so let's click here where it says main courses. And here are your options. You can either create a short story or a comic. I know a lot of you seemed, anyway, maybe you're, it is a performing arts school, maybe you're all faking it, but you seemed pretty excited to do the historical fiction. And we didn't get to do that before we left. So here's your other chance. It's essentially the same time period, but you need to focus on the different events. Okay, so if you are going to do a short story, must be approximately 4 pages, must have correct grammar, spelling, punctuation, must have an appropriate plot. You need to show details from the chapter and from the unit and things like that. The comic must have an appropriate amount of pages and cells for the assignment and plot. I did not give you a specific number because it depends on the size of your cells. It depends on a lot of factors whenever we're talking about more of a graphic medium here. So please, if you want to do a comic, that is fine. Keep me in the loop. Let me know. See if you have questions. But again, you need to have a decent plot, beginning, middle, end. You need to have details from the chapter. So the final product, it has to be digital unless you're doing a comic. If you're doing a comic and you draw it by hand, then you will need to take photographs and submit them to me via email or upload them to Google Classroom. I'm just going to make a general assignment and have everyone upload everything there. If you are doing a comic, I am grading for ability and neatness, no stick figures. I want legitimate art going on here. If you struggle with that, you can do it online. I have seen interesting comics. There's a couple of websites for that, I know, and I have seen decent ones actually using slides and drawings and things like that. So don't be afraid to get creative here. Here are some events that you can use, but if you are doing anything involving John Brown or Bleeding Kansas, make sure it's school appropriate. I do not want to see any Walking Dead style comics. Yes, I have read them. Second option for your main courses is create a soundtrack. Create a soundtrack of no less than 10 songs that would fit the themes of this chapter. Doesn't matter how many times I edit this. Fit the themes of the chapter. You may choose songs that are from any time period or any genre, but they must be school appropriate. You must provide an explanation, 3 sentences or so, big kid sentences, of how this song fits with the chapter. So what I would do is think about the different themes of this unit, and you are not limited to just these ones. Freedom, separation, liberty and justice, slavery and equality, secession, abolition, infighting, sectionalism, things like that. Find songs with the same theme. The final product, what I am envisioning, is some kind of a Google Doc with your explanations on it, or you can do it on slides. That's fine. Do 1 slide per song. You can either make a Spotify playlist and share it with me, or you can just find songs on YouTube and link the songs to either the doc or the Google Slides. Okay. Here's the basics on how I'm grading it. Each song is worth 3 points, 1 for the actual song choice, 2 points for a thorough explanation. Next one is a newscast. So I thought that it would be kind of cool because I know a lot of you really love your current events. If you would create a script on paper or a Google Doc and send it to me, so I want the script as well as a video as your final product, as if you were a news anchor on TV about one of the events we have discussed this chapter. Be sure to go into detail and imagine it if you were there at the time. So you should be using present tense and not past tense. So some final products that I've been thinking of, some kind of a video. Okay, if you would like to use Flipgrid, I can make a Flipgrid post because you can make up to, I think, 5-minute videos now on there. Otherwise, you can upload to YouTube and send me a link. You can send me the file, upload it to the assignment. If you were going to do this, talk to me. We will figure out how you are going to turn it in. Keep in mind, you may want to mention where your quote-unquote station is. And by that, I mean, are you covering this from the north perspective? Or are you covering it from the south? Some events to consider that I personally think would work best: Compromise of 1850, the Dred Scott decision, Bleeding Kansas, election of 1860. But you can ideally pick whatever you would like as long as you can make it work. And your video, I didn't put it in here, but your video needs to be about 3-ish minutes long, 3 or 4 minutes long. Just so you know. Alternately, if you hate seeing yourself on camera, I certainly do, you may create a podcast or audio only version of this. So you are going to be graded on how long it is, the mechanics and grammar of your script, as well as detail and creativity. So if you want to create a podcast for this, you can either just create an audio file on your phone or device, or there is a website that you can use to actually create podcasts. So let me know if you want help with that. And last but not least, as far as the main dishes are concerned, it is a speech. Pretend that you were arguing either from the North or from the South, and you are a member of Congress or the Supreme Court, and you are going to defend an event either for or against, depending on where you're from, which you need to make clear. You can even get creative and make up two personas and do one from each side and have a nice little argument with yourself if you're bored in quarantine. You will be graded on your video length, mechanics of your script, and the ability to argue your points. Again, your video should be about 4 to 5 minutes long and show understanding of this event and how people felt about it. If you're doing a video, let me know. We will figure out how to get the final product to me. So there are those. And then just these little ones down here, a cause and effect chain and a Venn diagram, which I'm sure all of you need, or all of you know how to do. So if you have questions, don't forget you can refer to any of these. This one up here, 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 and here all have better directions on it for you. So please read through these, read through the general directions, and then ask me if you have any questions. Please and thank you. I will hopefully see you in office hours.